All right, hello and welcome back to the channel, people. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's the Cup Chasers podcast. We have had a Cup Chasers derby. Arsenal have played Chelsea on Tuesday, and I got to say, it was an enjoyable one from at least one of our perspectives. And if you agree, go ahead and get the likes up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and get that notification bell on. Well, guys, it's kind of went exactly how we expected. Honestly, I'm surprised. Honestly, it's still a London derby. It's still a game that Chelsea should have been up for, and they didn't offer a thing.
No, we did not.
How much
Um,
space? Like, it's not even that Arsenal returned to winning ways and we were amazing and Arsenal are back to their whatever. You gave us all the space
yeah.
in the world, and we did what any good team is going to do with that much space.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just that we kind of. It's almost like we either took y'all way too serious, or we just didn't take this game serious at all. Like it
Yeah.
was, it's either it's one or there's no middle ground. It's like, oh, we weren't competing today. It's either we came out and we thought, oh, Arsenal is just about we can't let this get out of hand, is how it looked, and then like when we read the lineup sheet again, there's some things wrong with it. I'm not gonna deny that, but we just I don't know why we wouldn't line up a little bit more defensive or, at least to set up our midfield and bolster it because we know where your strong suits are. We know what you're going to do. You're going to play the Arsenal. You're not going to change because you're playing us.
You've
You
seen a
didn't change.
blueprint for 4 straight games. You've seen a blueprint of
Yeah,
how
that's
to
what I'm
play
saying.
against us. And
And
it's been
and
not just one, it's been different ways to
to
give us
hold
problems.
to hold Arsenal, right? And it's just but I don't think that was the game plan. It wasn't like, "Oh, we're going to come in here and compete." It was literally it just looked like we just can't let this get out of hand.
But what's baffling is that Frank's always talking about effort in the press conference, talking about
Right.
playing, for the shirt and giving it all, But he's not getting that from anyone on the team. Maybe Mud Dog came in and looked like he was up for it.
Right.
Nani got a goal. He played well.
Yeah.
No,
He got a goal.
I'm tired of Frank. I want him to leave just so that I can still respect him as a player, but I'm tired of him as a manager because he says one thing leading up to a game in the press conference, and then the other he turns around and says, "Well, they're not giving any effort. They're not doing this." But then he says they're giving effort in practice. So what is it? What is it?
I think it's a player's boycott mindset. Kai said it in his press conference. We had a manager we loved. It's a middle finger to Boyley. All of it is. The whole season the boys did just enough not to get relegated. It's
But
a
also
middle
to
finger.
fans.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't
to
care.
the fans
Right.
too.
Because those aren't their fan like they don't care like this it's tarnished. It's trashed from
You don't think the
clubhouse
young
from
guys?
front of the house to the back of the house.
You don't think the young guys are trying to build something?
I do.
How can how
That's why I
can you
want
when
him to play. They give effort.
how can you when you have players like Thiago Silva, respected legend, Azpilicueta, club legend?
He was
These
all.
these guys don't care. The leaders on this team. This is why I said a couple weeks ago, Thiago. I have a problem with him. The leaders on this team don't respect the shirt because they got disrespected by our shirt. They got disrespected by our club, and they're taking it out on the club.
Hey, I
There's going to be
agree.
some professionalism there at some point, though.
That's what
But
I was. That's that exactly
these
where I was going
boys
to go.
aren't men. These boys don't care about professionalism. It's what Jake says all the
Well,
time. These boys are
Azpilicueta,
mercenaries.
Thiago
Half
Silva,
of these guys are mercenaries.
Silva is, Conte is, Kova is, Azpilicueta is. They're seasoned professionals.
But in addition to that, it really begs the question about um, are they up for it? Because the thing about it is that I mean, obviously we know mercenaries exist in sport, but
Right.
like you blame you say, okay, well, it's the owner, which I agree. I've been on board with that for a while. But I mean, why go to the team? Ask to leave. Say, hey, I want to be out. If it's really the owner, then
Kova did. When we have
what
players like that coming forward, like there's a problem. Then that's what just needs to be like Potter. I would crucify Potter time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. I will always stand behind that. But these boys, Aubameyang as soon as Tuchel left, they had to have a meeting with him saying about how he was still going to be implemented into our club. They knew the minute it happened, every shred of what they had planned out and what they had set before them for this year, all the competition, all the cups, all of them are gone. All of them are gone, and they just checked out.
I mean, at this point, Aubameyang's getting a bad rap, don't you think? Okay, he's been awful. He's been terrible. He hasn't played.
No, he hasn't played. Tuchel was the only one who was willing to play him. Potter hated him, which I'd be partying in Barcelona too if you treat me like that.
Granted, he came in, started the game, and he wasn't even awful. He was nothing.
Nothing.
He didn't touch the ball until 25 minutes
He had
in.
like 6 touches.
Yeah,
Then
then
he didn't get any service because y'all weren't. I'm not even sure Frank knows like what the setup is.
He
And
doesn't.
Frank doesn't know. The players can't know.
I mean, you can't keep asking Conte to try to be the creator. He's not that type of player. He's never been that type of player.
We don't have a creator on the bench. Enzo is the closest thing we have, but we don't have a creator on the bench right now. Like, we don't have a creator.
You don't think Felix could create?
He failed to create the entire time he's been here so far.
I think the answer is to take Coach Lasso's philosophy when Coach Lasso found out what total football was. And so I think you just got to go Ted Lasso and then be Jamie Tartt and say, you don't play to me, you play for me, right? And then you do it that way, and they figure it out, which means Felix is the answer as you put it there. And I agree with X that he has not been creative, but he needs to watch that episode of Ted Lasso and understand that's what it is. Because here's the thing.
Football is life.
Because I'm going to say this. Frank Lampard is a footballing legend.
Yeah.
As a trainer,
he should be our midfield coach. Just stay and coach our midfield.
Should he?
He needs to be a pundit.
He needs some time off. He needs some time off to collect his thoughts, get his pro badge, and get an assistant kitman's job at a championship side.
But I'm agreeing. Here's why I'm saying this, because I don't know how much sports you guys have coached, but I've coached different sports, different levels, and no coach is worth their value doesn't have an assistant that's at their level or almost better than them. And Frank doesn't have anyone around him to do that. And again, Ted Lasso, all of season 1 through whatever, he had somebody who was helping him along the way.
Because they're all gone, or they quit.
There.
Right, they're either all gone, they got fired.
Frank don't have friends,
or they quit.
He brought in Ashley Cole.
No one else wants to come. No one else wants to come. Cole came back, but Cole's going to leave with Frank.
For Chelsea legends, recall Petr Cech.
Petr Cech won't come in. He got disrespected with the Tuchel outage. That's why he left.
Just be like, look, Drogba, if it's not
help Frank.
Come home and fix it.
They should all come home, but they hate Boyle. I'm telling you, it's the pyramid. It's a catch-22 every time you're like, oh yeah, I agree. I would love for the club legends because Drogba has a problem with the way the club's being ran. Cole has a problem. Both Coles, Ashley Cole and Joe Cole, have a problem with the way the club's being ran. Zola, all of them have come forward and said this is a farce.
There's your coach. Bring in Gianfranco back. He can coach.
It's just it's a catch-22 because if they come back, then they're helping the person who did all this to us. So it's like, which one is really more?
So you'd rather have the club just crater than actually try to help fix it?
I think the way this is going to go down is not going to be pretty for us because, yes, I think we will crater. I think we are going to become a mid-level team because we have invested all of this money in the wrong areas and aspects because we had people who didn't know what they were doing just tossing dollars at it.
You think Pochettino can do anything?
And he's good. He's
for
known
anyone
for developing
to inspire. If for anyone to get these boys, and what the problem is I don't see the flame. We don't see the flame is gone. And once you've taken that away from the player, they either have to leave the club and reignite it somewhere else, or you have to have someone come in who is charismatic, who the players truly love, who they'll drink from their shoe after they win a game. They'll follow into battle, as we've heard some of these boys saying about some of their former managers. I'll go to war for that man.
Or you just start winning. I mean, if you start winning, you buy into what's being sold.
Yeah, here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take somebody big.
Boldy has shown that he's willing to stubbornly stick to his man. So what that tells me is that what have y'all played? 33, 34 games? The rest of the season is Frank's, no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've shown that. So
We're at 33, by the way.
tactically, you have to find something, and you have 2 games to do it. He's got to throw something at the wall in the next 2 games and hope it sticks, because the 3 after that are bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news.
And see, that's where I get frustrated. Like, this is
He had nothing versus Arsenal. There was no tactics.
exactly. And this is what I keep saying about I need Frank to just shut up, because no one's going to want to play for a guy who will hang you out to dry in the media when you're already losing and he's not helping you actually win. I mean, I'm watching these games. There's no tactical advantage whatsoever with him. I mean, he keeps putting Sterling as a lone attacker. I mean, it just none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Enzo's playing out of position because who knows why. He's a creator.
Just complete 100% switch with Conte.
Exactly.
Let Conte do what he won championships doing, and
Which
give
is
Enzo the Argentina role. The same thing he did next to Messi.
exactly. I mean, the pieces are there, and that's where I get frustrated. The pieces are there, but Frank's not putting them together at all.